You ever hear a sound that you haven't heard in 50 years and it hits you like a freight train? Not a song, not a voice, just a sound. Two notes from the end of the street. And every single guy who grew up in California between 1950 and 1969 knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's what this story is about. Stick with me. Today we're going back to something real. Not a tech startup, not a billionaire with a rocket, a guy with an idea, a fleet of trucks, and the belief that if you do your job right every single day, no shortcuts, people will trust you. For almost 40 years, they did. And then one day, it was over. This is the story of the Helms Bakery, and I guarantee by the end of this video, you'll be pissed off in the best possible way. Let me tell you about Paul Helms, born in 1894. Worked as a banker on the East Coast. By his mid-30s, successful, comfortable, set for life. Then his health started failing. Doctors told him, "Get out of New York, go west, slow down." So he went to California, and instead of slowing down, he built something from scratch. That's a certain kind of man, right? The kind that can't sit still, the kind that sees a problem and starts solving it before anyone else even noticed there was a problem. Paul Helms was that guy. March 2nd, 1931, Helms Bakery opens in Culver City, California. 32 employees, 11 delivery coaches, one mission, no stores, no middlemen, no shelves. Every loaf of bread, every donut, every pastry goes directly from the oven to your front door. His competition looked at him and laughed. Why would anyone skip the grocery store? Why would anyone pay a man to drive bread to your house? Paul Helms just smiled and kept baking. 1 year after opening, Helms Bakery was feeding Olympic athletes. 1932. Los Angeles. The whole world showed up for those games, and Paul Helms fed them. And not with a factory, not with a conglomerate, with 32 guys and bread baked fresh every night. Now, here's the part most people don't know. While America was watching Neil Armstrong walk on the moon in 1969, Helms bread was on U.S. research ships in the Pacific Ocean. Men doing serious work, far from their families, far from everything familiar. And what did they ask for? Something that tasted like home. Helms delivered that too. From your front porch in Culver City to the deck of a Navy vessel somewhere in the middle of the ocean. Same bread, same man behind it. Paul Helms never chased headlines. The headlines found him anyway. Now, I want you to picture a specific man. His name doesn't matter, but you know this guy. He woke up at 4 in the morning every single day, Monday through Saturday. He loaded his coach, his truck, with hundreds of freshly baked items, still warm from the night bake. He drove the same streets, the same route for 20, sometimes 30 years. He knew every family on his run. He knew the dad worked nights. He knew the kid had a birthday coming up. He knew which house needed an extra loaf and which family was tight on money this week. Nobody told him any of this. He just paid attention. That's what a real job looks like. That's what showing up every day looks like. 300 men did this every single morning. And then there was the whistle. Not a horn, not a bell. A two-note whistle. Sharp, clean, unmistakable. The Acme 144. The same whistle they used on trains. 2 notes. That's it. The Helms man would turn onto your street, and that sound cut right through the morning air. And if you had a blue letter H in your window, he'd stop. That was the system. No app, no notification. Just a little blue H that meant, we need bread today. Dads sent their sons running out with the dime. Kids sprinted down the sidewalk barefoot, because that yellow coach with the wooden drawers full of warm donuts was not going to wait. 2 notes, and the whole street came alive. But here's where the story gets interesting, because what killed this business wasn't a bad product. It wasn't lazy workers. It wasn't poor management. What killed Helms Bakery is the same thing that's killing independent businesses right now, today, in your city. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Stay with me. By the late 1950s, Helms Bakery was a machine. 300 coaches rolling every morning, 350,000 homes served, over 150 different products, a workforce that supported hundreds of families. These weren't gig workers. These were men with careers, with pensions, with pride in the route they owned. The Helms man on your street, he was your neighbor. He was part of the community. Not an algorithm, not a tracking number, a man. Then the supermarkets arrived, and they came with a weapon that's impossible to fight: lower prices. It didn't matter that supermarket bread was baked days earlier. It didn't matter that it sat on a shelf wrapped in plastic. It didn't matter that nobody knew your name. It was cheaper. And in America in the 1960s, cheap started winning. Helms pushed back. They held the line on quality. They kept delivering. They kept showing up. But the math doesn't lie. When your cost per loaf goes up and your customer base goes down, you're fighting a clock. 1969. 300 men drove their routes for the last time. They loaded the coaches, blew the whistle, made their deliveries, and at the end of the day, they parked the trucks, turned in their uniforms, and went home. No announcement on the news, no viral moment, no one taking photos on a smartphone. Just 300 guys quietly losing a job they loved, and 350,000 families waking up the next morning to a street that was suddenly quieter. I think about those drivers a lot. A man who spent 20 years learning one route, who could tell you the name of every dog on the street, who dropped off an extra loaf during tough times and never said a word about it. Where do you go after that? What do you put on a resume? I showed up every day for 20 years, and people trusted me. That's not a resume line. That's a life. And we let that disappear. We let the convenience store win. We let the cheap plastic bag win. And I don't think we've ever really recovered. But here's the twist. 55 years later, one man decided he wasn't going to let it stay dead. A chef from Los Angeles, someone who grew up hearing the stories, who understood that what Helms built wasn't just a bakery. It was proof that doing things right still means something. What happened next took 12 years, cost a fortune, and ended in a way that nobody wanted. Let's talk about it. Chef Sang Yoon. If you don't know him, he's the guy behind Father's Office, one of the most respected burger spots in Los Angeles. A serious guy, a detail guy, the kind of man who doesn't do anything halfway. In 2012, he bought the Helms name. He stood in front of that old building on Helms Avenue, the same building, still standing, still with the original neon sign, and said, "I'm bringing this back." 12 years later, he was still fighting to open the doors. Permits, contractors, a global pandemic, a construction timeline that turned into a nightmare, a partner that walked away. 12 years. Most people would have quit in year 2. Sang Yoon didn't quit. November 1st, 2024. The doors opened and Los Angeles showed up. People who were kids in the 60s stood in line before sunrise. Old men in their 80s who remembered that whistle walked through those doors and smelled fresh bread for the first time in 50 years. Some of them cried. I'm not going to pretend that's not a powerful thing, because it is. 14,000 square feet, Sourdough, croissants, pastries, fried chicken, coffee, and donuts. The same donuts. The ones your grandfather used to run down the street for. For one morning, Los Angeles felt whole again. But running a business in 2024 is nothing like 1931. Coffee costs up 30%. Flour, butter, eggs, all up. Minimum wage in California, $16 an hour and rising. Sang Yoon said it publicly, and I respect him for being honest about it. Unless you're made of money, no business can tolerate price increases across such a wide spectrum. He wasn't complaining. He was telling the truth. The same truth that Paul Helms faced in 1969. Different decade, same enemy, rising costs, shrinking margins, a market that rewards cheap over good. December 5th, 2025, 13 months after reopening. Sang Yoon posted the announcement. It makes me very sad to share that we'll be closing our doors. I've been incredibly proud of what we've been able to share. It's been an honor to see this place come alive again. Final day of service, December 14th, 56 years, almost to the day, after the original coaches stopped rolling. History repeated itself exactly. And here's the part that should make you think. Not about blaming Sang Yoon, not about blaming Paul Helms, not even about blaming the supermarkets. Look at the system that makes it almost impossible for someone who does things the right way to survive for decades. We say we want quality, we say we want local, independent, real, but a lot of the time we still end up driving to the big box store because the bread is a little cheaper. I'm not pointing fingers. I've done it too. But every time that happens, another Helms Bakery fades away. Another route disappears. Another driver hangs up his keys for the last time. We're all connected to this story. Here's what I take from this. Paul Helms built something from nothing. With 32 guys and 11 trucks. No venture capital, no Instagram, no algorithm. Just a product people could trust, and men who showed up every single morning. Sang Yoon spent 12 years trying to honor that. Both of them lost, but they both tried, and they both built something that people still talk about decades later. That's not failure, that's legacy, and maybe that's the point. Not everything that matters survives, but everything that matters is remembered. The Helms sign still stands. Helms Avenue is still there, and somewhere in a garage in California, there's probably still an old wooden drawer that smells faintly of sugar and warm dough. The man who drove that route hasn't been around for a long time. The truck is gone. The whistle is gone. But you're still here, watching this video, because some part of you already knew this story mattered. If your dad or grandfather ever told you about the Helms truck, send him this video today. Or share it with a guy who needs to hear that doing things right is never wasted. I'll see you in the next one. Stay solid.